Have you been traicionado in your business? Like deceived, deception in this business? We are here with the Colombian Dream Podcast. We're here with Steve at Debak. A lot of people, as you see in the news, are leaving Medellín, exiting Medellín, but we have business owners actually staying here, creating a life, creating a business. I'm super excited to have you. Let's get into it.
All right.
Philly, we have Hong Kong. Steve, you came here with no family, no network, not knowing anyone here in Medellín. That's a frightening thing to do. You came here to start your Korean fried chicken business. Tell me, why Medellín?
Well, I mean, first I think it comes with my experience, overseas. For me to move to like a different environment, like I've already been kind of used to that, to be honest.
Sure.
And I felt like Latin America as a whole, not just Colombia, it's just something that was always, there's some sort of energy that was gravitating me towards Latin America. It wasn't like Medellín per se, right?
Right.
And so, my background is in startups.
Okay.
I have another startup in Hong Kong.
Dope.
Coming now doing Debak, it's a totally different world right now for sure. But no, I think like Latin America is just a place of there's a lot of opportunities. With my experience, I could bring a lot, to this area. Coming to Colombia, in particular Medellín, I did like an extensive research, right? Like where is a good place to first learn Spanish? And second of all, like where is technology really starting to emerge in Latin America? So those two places that checked the boxes the most was Medellín and Buenos Aires.
Interesting.
Yeah. And this was like a good 4 years ago now,
Okay.
right? I mean, Medellín was closer, right? Argentina is like quite far away. I was actually even thinking about starting another company in Panama.
Bro,
Yeah.
I like it. Serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You're in a great city to do it. Do restaurants, also doing basically your not digital nomad, but starting your business not having to be in Hong Kong. How do you even manage that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that startup right now, has a new CEO who I trust. He was my former CTO.
Okay.
I'm pretty much hands off on that one.
Dope.
I just get little updates here and there, kind of thing. But that company is around a good 11 to 12 years old now. Yeah, 12 years old now.
Well, congrats. I want to get into, you touched on an important topic, which is realizing the opportunity here in Medellín. I always like to just go into different areas, different malls, location. We've traveled around the world, so we can say, oh, wow, this would fit so great in this market, in Medellín. I can't find anything. You do your market research. How was that first experience of you, moving to, or not moving, but realizing and coming to visit Medellín and saying, I want to start a Korean fried chicken business in this city? Like, how long were you even here? Like, how did that arise?
I mean, honestly, like when I first got here, I definitely saw that there were a lot of foreigners here, digital nomads and things like that. And the other thing that I saw was that people really embraced the Korean culture, right? Whether that be through the series that you watch on Netflix or the music, K-pop and things like that.
Right. I see the different themes. I love it.
Yeah, you gotta keep it real, from Korea. You know what I mean? But not just that. It was coupled with Colombians' love for for fried chicken.
Yeah.
So, the number one franchise in Colombia is Frisbee.
Right.
I saw just chicken everywhere, right?
Okay.
Like, I mean, you can just go to the barrios and you see like Pollo Mario or something like that. Like there's
todos lados hay pollo.
Yeah, there's pollo everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. Korean fried chicken is just, to me, maybe it's a little biased, but I think Korean fried chicken is just absolutely the best in the world, and it's taking off.
Right.
Like you go outside of Colombia, Korean fried chicken is really taking off.
Is in different areas all over the world. Like,
absolutely.
If you're looking for Korean fried chicken, you should be able to find one in the city that you're in.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt like with Medellín, the number of foreigners that are here right now, the size of it, I felt like there should be one by now. And so for me, that was like, when I thought about all my different business ideas, like Korean fried chicken was like, it was just so obvious.
Let's go
Like
into
I had to do it.
Right.
Like honestly, in some ways, I didn't want to do it because it's a restaurant. It's in the food business.
Heavy.
Yes.
It's a heavy business.
Yes.
It's day in, day out, like
You know, here you look at. I mean, I'm a tech startup, and to totally cross the opposite path and get into restaurants, a little more traditional in a way. I'm like, do I really want to do this? For me, it was more about understanding the customer, right? Because I've always been like
Who's your
involved in
target?
the B2B, the businesses of the world, you know, the large corporates or whatever, right? But I wanted to really understand the customer, and I wanted to understand the Colombian customer, if any, right? And this was like more of like this starting ground for me. Yeah, you know, I just had to make it real.
So you referenced how for you it was very important to understand the Colombian market. Would you say that most of your customers are Colombians, are foreigners? How, like, what does that mix look like?
Yeah. A lot of the foreign-owned restaurants here, they really target the foreigner. I would say most of them, right? I mean, I can
In
just
this
like
area.
thinking about it, not even just in this area, just in general. And you know, for me, like I'm here for the Colombian people, and I want them to continue coming here, right? I don't want it going just like a one-time experience. I want them to come here 2 times a month, 3 times a month. Come with their families, invite your friends, you know, that kind of thing, right?
I love that.
You know, I don't want to just look at this as like a business in a way. Like, I feel like I have a mission, you know, and my mission is to touch the Colombian people, and that's through my products. It's through my food, through the culture, right? But it's also to help the people here, you know. And so with that kind of mentality in mind, if you see my marketing, I don't speak English.
Right.
I've done it once because someone did it as a favor, and they're like, hey, I want to do a nice commercial for you. It's gonna be for free, blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, I'll do it, right? But I never did it out of my own will.
It's really interesting because so many business owners here in Medellin are actually leaving, or people are exiting the country. That's what the news is saying. Social media, it could be a lot of noise. In this podcast, you know, we want to share what does that Colombian dream look like for people who come to Colombia. How would you say, you know, you're living your Colombian dream here with your restaurant and with, you know, the life that you've built in this city?
I mean, Colombia is officially home for me.
Okay.
Now,
Go.
right?
Are you a
Like-
resident now?
I'm not a resident yet.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Close. We'll get there.
Pretty close.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
But, you know, I think if you want to do business in Colombia, it definitely takes a particular kind of person, and it takes a mission. You know, like doing business in Colombia is not easy.
100%.
You know, I'm a guy here that's built a startup. I've employed, you know, about 100 people through my startup, and we're very global. That was hard. But doing a business in a foreign country, in Colombia, I mean, it's another level, right? Because if you're all about, you know, rationality, everything has to make sense for you, you know, it's tough.
It is tough, yeah.
Because as a business owner, everything just has to make sense. But in Colombia, it's like, we don't work with logic, you know, and it's just about, I don't know, doing well, right? Or finding ways, you know, to work well in Colombia. I mean, I've learned a lot. I've definitely learned a lot. But, you know, you definitely need the right people around you to make the business work.
You know, you're one person, right? And you're coming in as a foreigner, hiring, you know, people from Medellin, getting to know people. How did you gain that trust in this market?
I mean, you just do,
just do it.
right? I
You
mean,
just have
as
to
an
do it.
entrepreneur, it's always about, you know, you just do.
Just do.
You know, and then, you know, you kind of get to know the people, and then, you know, like, okay, good enough, let's go, right? But I think in Colombia, especially here in Medellin, I feel like time is everything. And it's also speed. Like, when I want to say speed, it's about the tempo. And the tempo here is slow.
It's slow.
So
We have to be honest.
if you try to do everything fast, and I'm a fast guy, right? I'm a startup guy, I like things like fast, like that. What I want to learn is take your time.
Patience.
Patience.
Breathe.
Breathe.
Breathe through those issues.
And then go.
Steve, what was your biggest culture shock when you came to Medellin?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot, of course, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a world traveler, or I've seen the world a lot. But here, there are like certain things. I'll give you a funny one, right? So if you take an Uber, and so one thing is when you get out of the car, there's one step that you must take.
We know which one. Ooh. ¿Qué le pasó?
And I think we're accustomed to like just closing the door without really thinking of anything. Naturally. That natural movement that you put on the door, it could be chaotic for that Uber driver. It's like almost like you're damaging the car, or like that door is gonna break off and you're gonna have to pay for that or something like that. I want to say I learned it the hard way, or like, you know, like cuidado, or like whatever, right? Like, so make sure that when you close the door for an Uber driver, do nice and slow. Nice and slow, yeah.
So let's get into this. Was there a moment in your entrepreneur kind of journey starting where you were like, what am I doing here? What was that moment like? Like, please explain that, which can be very helpful for other entrepreneurs who may be thinking about moving here to Medellín.
Oh yeah, plenty of times. Okay, plenty of times. I mean, doing a business here is tough, you know? And then, like I said, it takes time to really understand how to run it properly. And, you know, there are many times when, you know, you think you're doing everything right, you know, like you're doing everything the legal way and doing everything right. But there's like a special way of doing business here.
Okay.
And it's like, it's really hard to explain. But, you know, what I've learned is that as a foreigner, there's really a learning curve to running a business here. To say that you learn everything about the law, that's very hard to say, right? That is very hard to say. And then second of all, like, you think you know how people operate, their behaviors, you think you know them, but you may not really know them because of culture or something like that.
Right.
And I think that's something that I have to acknowledge. I've learned is like, you know what? I might need to step away a little bit. Let the Colombian people that know how to run a business or here, let them run it. Let them manage the people. I'm more of that visionary guy.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm the guy that's saying like, hey, this is what's Korean, right? This is what's gonna bring authenticity, right? And yeah, I just provide their vision and let them execute.
Have you been traicionado in your business? Like deception in this business?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, the hardest hit.
Gosh, there's been so.
What was that deception like for you?
There was so many moments.
Yeah.
You know, and if this was like a personal conversation with me and you, I probably could tell you plenty of stories. And as a foreigner, people are gonna try to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
People are gonna try to take advantage of you.
Be careful. Be careful.
You think people are on your good side and they want to help you. They might start saying like beautiful language to you. Be like, for instance, I go to church, right? I'm a Christian guy.
Dope.
And so this guy find out, he saw one of my stories that I went to church. Like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian too, right? So he kind of like tries to like say, okay, maybe makes me think that I can trust this guy. And later on, I found out he's a con.
He's a con.
He's a con.
He just like cons
like
people.
He's saying that he does a particular job.
No,
right?
That's...
And then the people that actually do the job as their profession, they're like, this guy's a nobody. And I ended up working with this guy probably for like two years or something.
Really?
Yeah.
What recommendation do you give for someone who may be like, is this person taking advantage of me or not?
I mean, I think it comes down to background checks.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
their name.
I'm not even saying like, you know, looking at their criminal history or, you know, things like that. I mean, that might be helpful too.
Yeah.
But it's like the references. And make sure that they're legitimate. Or even like clients. Make sure if they're a restaurant, the clients that they're referring to are actual restaurants.
Okay.
And maybe you're even going there to see what kind of restaurant it is. Is it a proper restaurant?
Right. Be careful.
But you can't always rely on your intuition. I mean, that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned.
Facts. Then you have to base it on the facts.
You got to get deep, you know.
What was harder, learning the culture, building your business, or creating relationships here in Medellín?
I mean, building a business 100%. Yeah.
Building the business.
Building the business, yeah.
What was the specific portion of building the business that was hard for you?
You know, just overall, just like management of the people.
It's all about managing people.
You know, here's a guy. I mean, yeah, you can say it's a combination of the culture as well, but like, you know, really understanding, you know, what motivates, you know, Colombian people. And then I believe that I treat my employees very well.
And you have to.
Right?
If you want a good business, you have to treat your employees well.
And I do whatever I can. When I think about my payments, my employees' payments are number one. Suppliers' payments, brand payment, whatever, I don't care. Like, those are also important, but my number one payment are my employees, and I must pay them on time. And I'm gonna do whatever I can to do that. 100%. Even if it's out of my own pocket, which I've done many times as well, I'm gonna make sure I pay my employees, right? I treated these guys the best.
Out of the block.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's why you've been here 3 years. Yeah, and you have a great product.
Thank you.
You have a great product. At what point did you realize that Debak was going to be successful? I mean, restaurant industry is probably one of the hardest industries to get into.
Yeah.
How were you like, all right, this is gonna work. This is gonna work.
I mean, right now we have like 56,000 followers on Instagram, right? And I feel like we're at a point where we've really built a brand.
Yeah.
You know, that people can sort of get themselves attached to. Mm-hmm. But I would say like that moment you're like, whoa, like what did I just do?
Yeah.
Was when like last year, wow, it's already last year, the number one chicken organization of Colombia, they reached out to us, right? And they wanted to do a documentary on us, Korean fried chicken. Well, like of all the top like sort of like chicken restaurants in Colombia. So not just Medellín, it was like Cali, it was Bogota, it was Bucaramanga, you know, all these places. So they selected 2 places here in Medellín, and we were one of them, right? And you know, we had like a 25-person crew coming in here, doing the shooting, interviewing me, you know, interviewing in Spanish.
Yeah.
You know, this year ago, I was like, wow, like I can't believe I still did that in a way. But yeah.
How would you say that Colombia has changed you as a person? We're here in the Colombian Dream Podcast. We're sharing people's dreams to the world. Like, how has Colombia changed your life?
I think, especially with doing business here, I feel like it's helped me to become even more patient as a person, because, I mean, patience is actually one of a gift I feel like I have.
Really?
But I think being in Colombia has allowed me to have even more patience, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, it's allowed me to be a lot more loving too, in a way. Because the Colombian people are just so warm. You know what I mean? Like even the way that you greet someone, right? It's like you do a hug and a nice kiss on the face. You know, you say hi to everyone when you go into the elevator or wherever you go.
Right.
Like, I remember doing this like, I want like maybe like a funny sort of reel that I done personally, but it was just like everyone in Colombia says hi to you, right? Everyone. And I tested it out. It wasn't even just acting. Like literally walking the street, saying hi to everyone, and everyone saying hi back.
In your neighborhood, yeah.
Like who? You don't really find that.
You don't find that in Philly, in Hong Kong, nowhere. That's dope.
Yeah.
We'll end things here. Thank you so much for being, you know, part of this first interview, the Colombian Dream podcast. If you had one final learning to give someone who is thinking about making that move to Colombia, whether it's Medellín, Bogota, Santa Marta, Cartagena, what advice would you give them?
Well, if you want to start a business here, think really, really hard about that and really understand who you are as a person. Are you a person of perseverance? Are you a person that has experience of challenges, you know, with your business? Are you a person with good character? Right? Because if you don't have good character, people see right through that, and you're gonna have a lot more problems, I think. Right? You really have that patience and endurance to keep going, right? Because there'll be times when you're like, why did I do this? Or like, am I gonna make it? Or whatever. But just finding ways to kind of sort of like keep going, you know, that's like essential for any business, like, you know, that you may have.
So Colombia sharing, I will leave Debak's Instagram and social media information in the description. And No, I wish you the best. I
Thank
wish
you.
you the best in your projects, and I'm excited to see the cool stuff you'll be building here in Medellín.
No, thanks a lot. No, I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.